What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be reviewing the McDonald's game. This game came out from Milton Bradley in 1975, and it is for 2 to 4 players. Now, the object of the McDonald's game is you are going to try to be the first player to score 25 points. And you're going to be getting points by correctly filling out orders or by trading in certain food cards. So let's show you the McDonald's game. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and go over the components. We'll go ahead and start with the characters, and there's 4 of them. You have Ronald McDonald, you have Mayor McCheese, the Hamburglar, and Grimace. And each of them are going to go ahead and start in the corner where their character is. You also have food item cards, and you have 8 different food items. You've got fries, cookies, filet of fish, hamburger, chocolate shake, hot apple pie, Big Mac, and cheeseburger. And you're going to be using these food items to fill out orders on these menu cards over here. Now, there's a bunch of different spaces, but the main space is the Let's Go to McDonald's space. If somebody lands on this, and you'll just simply roll the die and move that amount, the person who lands on this is going to read this menu card out loud. In this case, he would say 2 chocolate shake, 1 cheeseburger, 1 Big Mac, 1 French fry, 1 hot apple pie, please. Now, the second he says please, that's going to signify that the order is over, and then all the players are going to frantically go ahead and try to complete their order using these. You have these 4 marbles over here, and each of these marbles are synonymous with the base color that your character has. So the first person who ends up completing their order or feels they've completed their order, let's say it's Ronald, he's going to go ahead and drop his marble down his chute like so. And then all the other players are going to go ahead and follow suit as soon as they have their order completed, or if they think they do. Now, just because someone drops a marble in here, go ahead and complete your order because they may end up getting it wrong. And if Ronald ended up getting his order wrong, then it will go to the white marble, which in this case would be Grimace, and they'll check his order. But anyway, if Ronald ended up getting his order right, he is going to go ahead and score points depending on how many food cards he used. So he's got 6 points for this. Now, you've got this little pegboard here on your food card tray, and you'll just simply move the peg up that amount of spaces. And it goes up to 25, and the first person to get 25 points or more is going to win. Now, whoever gets the order right, they're going to go ahead and turn in their food cards to the person that read the menu. Now, in a 2-player game, my wife and I will just simply turn our cards into the hub over there where all the food cards are. But that's what we do. If Ronald got the order wrong, then it would go to the next marble, which would be Grimace. Now I'll go ahead and go over all these spaces over here. This one just simply says you'll get 3 cards from the rack. You can pick which ones. This one says you'll take 1 card. You'll take 1 card with this. The trade 2 cards means that you can trade 2 cards with any player, and you'll get to choose which of the cards that you want from him. So if you wanted to trade 2 filet of fish for a Big Mac and fries, you could very well do that. But most of these are going to be you either getting cards or trading cards. Now, one important thing to know is that you can only have a maximum of 3 cards each food item in the rack. So if you end up getting a 4th one, say you ended up having to draw a card and you got a cheeseburger, you would go ahead and put the card here to the side. Now, a really cool rule is when it comes your turn, you have to turn this card in before you roll the die. If you do that, you'll go ahead and get points for whatever cards are here. However, if you roll the die afterwards, you're going to lose this card and the point value that goes along with it. So that's a pretty cool little rule. Now, as far as the menus go, this is the basic menu, but they start to get harder as you go down the deck. Check this out. Here's your order, but then it says, wait, change the hamburger to a Big Mac, please. So now you've got to try to remember that there's a change there. And here's one that says, double the order, I feel hungry. So now you have to add an extra food item here. Here's another one that says, I want a Big Mac instead of one of the cheeseburgers, please. Here's another one that makes it another change over here, etc. Now, this game is not as easy as it sounds because there's no rule saying you need to read the menu more than 1 time. But anyway, everyone's going to continue rolling the die, filling out the orders with these and getting cards. And the first player to get to 25 points at the end is going to win the game. And that, folks, is the McDonald's game. So my final thoughts on the McDonald's game. Well, now most of you are familiar with my friend Matt Wilkins. He has a bunch of vintage board game reviews that I feature on the channel, and this is one of his favorite games. He loves this game. And at the very end of the video, he had talked about some expansion ideas that he had, like making a breakfast menu and adding some food items and things of that nature. And that's something I'll talk about in a little bit. But my final thoughts on this game is this is a fun game. Now, the main thing with this game is filling out those menu item cards. That is not as easy easy as it sounds. Your brain is kind of having to remember all these things as they're getting read out, and just when you think you got it, all of a sudden someone changes the order, and that makes it tough, man. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun filling out those menu item cards and then dropping in the marble, and then your opponent may think she has it right, and then they've missed an item, and like, no, and then it goes to the next person, and the same thing can happen, and it's fun. It's just hilarious watching people's reactions when they think they've got the order, or they're so close to getting it, and then they don't get it. But when you get the order right, that's a feeling of victory, man. Now, another thing, too, is you've got to be careful watching those menu item cards, because if you get the order right, you're going to have to turn those cards in, but then you may run out of certain items, like a hamburger or something like that, and you have to try to get those things refilled, because if you don't, the next person to read out a menu card that might read out an item that you don't have, so you're not going to be able to help fill it out. And another cool thing you can do is when it comes to trading cards, you can look at your opponent's trays to see if they have, like, say, one hamburger left or something like that, and you can take that card from them and trade it for something that you don't necessarily need. So then they're going to be out of a hamburger, so they may end up not being able to fill out the menu card the next time it comes out. So yeah, that's a fun aspect of the game. Now, this game is for kids, and adults can certainly enjoy it. I do think that it does need some more menu cards, because the game only comes with 10 of them. One thing I'm going to do with the expansion that I'm working on is I'm going to make some more of those menu cards. I'm just going to scan them and then take out the number so you can fill it out however you would like to. And another thing my wife and I do is, instead of starting out with 3 item cards, we start out with 2, because a lot of times you're going to be landing on those spaces where you'll be able to get cards, and if you already have a full rack, you'll be able to just turn those in for points on your next turn, so you can get points pretty quick that way. So we decided to just do it with 2. That way, the points wouldn't just rack up so fast. You would have to get one card first, and then you'd be able to add to it. But that's a very easy fix for us as well. Now, as far as the expansion idea, one thing Matt had talked about doing was a breakfast menu. So what I did is I went ahead and I made a breakfast menu, and I've got things like the Egg McMuffin, the McGriddle, the hotcakes, and stuff like that. And I've also made food cards for each of them as well. And so I'm going to put this on the supersize expansion. And the next thing I'm going to do is I've got another menu that's got an added 8 food items here, and then an added 8 items below that, which are seasonal items and items that they don't make anymore, like the McDLT and the Archburger Deluxe. And the thought process I had with making this like this with the bonus items is, since these items aren't out all the time and some aren't out at all, let's say you decided you want to put a Shamrock Shake in here as a bonus item. Well, now you're not going to have those items in the very beginning like you would the others. You're going to have to just basically earn them. And if you end up filling out this menu card and there's a bonus item on there, you're going to get bonus points for that. But if you don't have that item, you can still fill out the menu as you normally would, just without the bonus item. You can skip the regular points that way. But if it turns out you actually have the bonus item, you're going to be able to get that. So I figured I'd just do it that way, because it would be really hard to put 24 items on a menu. Also thinking about putting some extra characters like the Early Bird and the Fry Guys, and I might actually make a scoring track too, just in case you wanted to go to more than 25 points. So I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to add. But anyway, guys, it's a cool game. So guys, that's my review of the McDonald's game. We'll see you later. Keep on gaming.